I think like having such a good time these last couple of days is starting to catch up to me a little bit. Because I tell you what, my low yesterday was I was just so sleepy. Like all day. Holy cow, like any opportunity I tried to take a nap, like I would. And it was unbelievable. I mean, I'm better now, so well, I mean, I'm not gonna say not fully rested per se, but you know, I can pretty much take on the day pretty alright. But my high was, you know, I got to see my folks yesterday. My mom had to work, so I waited till she got home before I left, and you know, I was with her for a little while. Honestly, these last couple of days have been kind of like emotional for me in terms of you know, wanting to be with family. So, you know, yesterday I was with my mom, and I don't. Maybe it's because it happened to a friend of mine recently, but you know, I was just feeling really sad that, you know, there is a possibility that, and again, this really is from the whole depression thing, but occasionally I think about just how potentially one day the important people in my life won't be there anymore. And so I thought about that regarding my mom, and you know, I started crying. And then, you know, I gave her a hug. It was a good cry though. It was an important cry. That's important. But yeah, it was all good. And my act of kindness was yesterday I helped prepare and clear the table for our dinner. We had leftovers yesterday. And we had like a whole bunch of leftover prime ribs, so last night we had leftover prime rib sandwiches smothered in gravy. There was also some leftover green beans, a couple leftover sweet potatoes, some salad. Like, it was good. It was a very good meal. I'm really glad that we did that, because tonight for dinner I'm going to be having something that I haven't had in over a year. Well, almost a year. It'll be one day shy of a year. And that will be revealed a little later in the video. But for now, I can say good morning and happy Tuesday, everyone. And happy last Tuesday of 2022. So, I guess I've been kind of thinking over yesterday regarding, you know, the finality of this year. And just everything that, you know, happened. So, a part of me is wondering where I even begin. Because I probably made like the first, I'll say 2/3 to 3/4 of this year worse than it really was. Because in all fairness, what took over a majority of the year for me in terms of how I felt was the whole heartbreak thing. And maybe because I lacked the experience of going through something like that I wasn't able to, you know, I didn't know how to handle myself properly. And that is on me. And since then, I've been trying to sort of shake it off. And it's worked to some degree. It's actually worked a little. I really have tried to move on. And I need to move on. I still just wish it didn't happen. But I swear that for every decent thing that happened, and again, maybe it is the depression thing, the feeling of heartbreak just sort of took over. Gosh. What else? I mean, and I guess there were a few other bad things that kind of, hurt some things along. I mean, the 1 week I was supposed to be on vacation at Pachuca Lake, my mom and I got into an argument. So she legit refused to be up at the lake with us that whole week. Real shame, too. I actually started binge watching Virgin River. It's actually a pretty good show. I can't really talk about it now because, the series clearly isn't over yet. Although season 5 should be coming out, in 2023. That'd be really cool. And those episodes are long, too. Really long. 40 plus minutes or whatever. It's about the length of a good Sugar Conroy episode regarding Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So that's crazy. But again, the fact that, my mom was angry about everything, that kind of ruined the week. What else? I kind of touched upon this yesterday, but I saw a post a while back saying, don't say that 2023 is going to be your year. Because that's what everyone this year was doing, saying that 2022 is going to be their year. And for a lot of people, it just didn't really seem to pan out. I mean, I've had friends who had family members die. I had plans that would get unexpectedly changed over the most ridiculous things. And, everything in between. And maybe by the end of next year, this year is going to be a distant. That's it. Years I'm not going to say 2023 is going to be my year, but I'm definitely going to try and make it better than this year was, consistently, because for all the annoyances and inconveniences and again the heartbreak that happened all throughout this year, there were a few really great moments. A part of me thinks that maybe I should do a top 10 or great moments of this year. And here's the thing, I do have a list. I really do. The problem is, what do I rank where? Because anyone will tell you, if you ever make a top 10 or top anything, 1, 2, and 3 are usually the easiest to come up with. Whereas everything else, okay, what is going to just barely make the cut? And what do I feel comfortable leaving off, even though, by all accounts, they should be there? These are the sorts of things you think about when doing a top 10. So there's some planning there, to be sure. Let's see. I guess one thing to really take the sting off of anything bad that happened this year was probably like all the weekends at Maquoketa Lake where, though it was kind of last minute and also kind of inconvenient, my folks and I would wind up watching my nephews for the night. I mean, here's the thing. It's inconvenient and last minute because no one tells me until the last minute. Hence why I just said it was inconvenient and last minute. And I guess it is something that I'm going to have to get used to more and more because my nephews are only going to get older. Then again, I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't have any kids myself that I don't quite understand the ramifications of the phrase "don't blink." But I am really kind of looking forward to my nephews getting a little bit older because they won't need to rely on. Well, here's the thing: my brother and his wife are definitely, of that sort of like millennial generation where they are really taking full advantage of the grandparents watching my nephews, that is. So maybe as they get older, and therefore my nephews are going to be able to, have more engaging conversations, I suppose, that it will be easier to for them to watch them more. I mean, at the end of the day, my mom is going to take literally every opportunity she can to watch them, because that's just what she does. I mean, this week, thankfully, my mom will say that she works like 4 to 5 days a week, when 2 of those days we'll be watching my nephews for, 7, 8, sometimes even 9 hours. Which, it's 3 boys. That's a lot of work. Although it does kind of, I visit my folks for the sake of seeing my folks. And when it's longer than usual for me to finally see my mom, it does kind of complicate things a little bit. Especially when only recently have I been trying to really, patch up things with my folks in terms of, some of the stuff they did to me over the years. I mean, there's no way, and again, I said this before, my relationship with my family sucks. It does. Compared to what I think it should be. The sad part is it's better than what it was. Remember how I just mentioned earlier how last night I had a really good cry and hugging my mom? I'd say around 1.5 years ago, there's no way that would have happened. I mean, I probably would have tolerated my mom's company, but that's about it. There's no way I'm hugging her. The crying thing probably would have been like, that either would have happened or it wouldn't. I mean, the crying thing was a completely different set of circumstances that had to happen for it to happen. But can't change it now, because, it just did happen. I will say also, this might have been the first year where, and keep in mind, the pandemic definitely didn't help anything, where I really have been able to just go out and be free. Like, I actually went out and did more things and tried to meet people. And I'm glad I did. That was easily, a highlight, to be sure. Especially when going to places like, events like Sparkle or Holidays. Like just going out there and seeing people or walking around for, as cold as it was. It was fun. And honestly, I kind of wish there were more events like that. They don't really need to be holiday themed, but, something. So I'm definitely going to try and do that more. Or actually, Alive After 5 too. I did do that this year, didn't I? Yeah, I only really went to one simply because, listen, Alive After 5 takes place the entire time when my family and I go up to the lake every weekend. And on Fridays when I'm able to, if I'm choosing between Hugo Lake and Alive After 5, I'm choosing Hugo Lake. Gets me up there sooner, keeps me out of trouble. That's always a good thing. And speaking of Hugo Lake, it's already been almost 2 months since we stopped going. That's actually really cool. And I'm glad for it. It actually kind of gives me some hope that winter's just going to fly by. I mean, it won't because, there's still January and February and we're all through the first half of March. So we got a ways to go. I always say that if we can just make it to March, we have a chance. And I'd say we're almost halfway there. I'd say from the beginning of October to the end of December, all of October, all of November, all of December, that's 3 months. So, yeah, if we make it to March, it's going to seem like it's not far away at all. The days are only going to be able to, let's be honest, it's after the winter solstice. We're already done with the shortest day of the year. So the days are only going to get longer. And for as cold as the weather is going to be, it will eventually get warmer. So I've got some stuff to look forward to in 2023. But I have to get through the rest of 2022 first. Luckily, considering what's happened the last 2 days, I think 2022 is going to end pretty well for me. I'm going to see my folks again today. I'm actually getting a new phone. Oh, I have a new phone. I just got to get all my information on this old phone transferred. So, yeah, this is going to be the very last video I do on this phone. Crazy, right? Can't wait for that. And, my mom is going to be making pepper steak and onions for dinner tonight, which was actually my birthday dinner last year. So wait, so you're probably wondering, Nick, for what you had for your birthday dinner last year, what are you going to do for your actual birthday, which is tomorrow? Well, I have one idea that I'm going to do for my birthday tomorrow. Of course, will be revealed after tomorrow, or sometime before tomorrow ends, but I've got something planned in mind. Let's just say, for my birthday, if it ever came down to it, I would choose only the very best. For those of you who've been following me for long enough, you know exactly what it is I'm talking about, or where it is exactly I'm talking about. But for now, I can just say, I should also mention, I was right about the Chargers winning. So overall, that makes my NFL picks 141, 97, and 2. Seems pretty good, huh? I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to each channel. Follow me on social media. As always, I am very humbled to make this video. For all of you guys watching, enjoy the name. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful final Tuesday of 2022. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk to channel is going to here to London Air, I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby. This is also my... Wow, I just also realized this is my final day of being 32. See you tomorrow when I'm 33.